Recently, Dragon Ball FighterZ arrived with a lot of drastic changes to the overall gameplay. This affected the game completely on the tier list of many players, so this time we're going to take a look at the characters who are currently offering a lower performance. These are the 10 worst Dragon Ball FighterZ characters. I remind you that even though the characters you are going to see here are at the lowest on my tier list, it doesn't mean they are bad at all. Dragon Ball FighterZ has always had a very balanced roster of characters, and the difference that exists between each one is barely noticeable. All characters are fully viable if used well. It's not the character, it's the player controlling them that really matters. Since this is my personal opinion, I would like you to leave your ranking of the worst characters in the game right now in the comments, so we can continue debating it. Without further ado, let's go with this ranking. Number 10. Tien. If something must be clear, it is that Tien is a character that should be managed differently from others. Well, actually all the characters, but what I mean is that he has very different combo routes than others and his attacks are anything but optimizable in that aspect. The damage is much improbable, its hit speed is very predictable. If you really don't intend to be a main Tien to play it in a try-hard way, it is not worth it to learn using him. Number 9. Android 16. A character that has been much better lately but continues to have a lot of flaws in his out. Some of the angles and range of his attacks are not the most appropriate, so to speak, something that makes you uncomfortable to link the combos, although it is just a matter of more practice. One of the typical rough characters that are very powerful if you manage to learn his moveset correctly. However, he is not a one to watch compared to other characters. Number 8. Nappa. It's funny because Nappa was improved in several features. It's not because I wanted to make fun of him, like who cares about Nappa? No, it just turns out that this character's combo routes are pretty conditional. There are occasions when you want to continue with a super dash, for example, and at certain moments it doesn't allow you to do so, affecting what you initially had in mind. Even after this change, from my point of view, it still does not get out of my top of the weakest. Number 7. Master Roshi. You're probably thinking that I'm crazy putting Roshi here, when at the beginning of the year I put him as an honorable mention in the best characters in the game. Do you remember what I said in the intro of that video? His mobility was modified and he ends up lacking frame output speed in various attacks, nerfing his assistance, which was previously broken. The scope and hitboxes are still very similar, but compared to the improvements in area of hitboxes, which cover the large most of characters now, Roshi is starting to fall behind. It is still a unique character with very fun optimization alternatives, but it doesn't stand out for strong features. Number 6. Frieza. He's got a lot of nerfs regarding his regular combos. He got worse in neutral combat. That is not something that can be overlooked. Many thought this would be compensated with the buffs they did to Golden Frieza transformation, but it ended up being just an entertaining addition rather than a new competitive possibility. The combo routes with him are more complicated than ever, and it could be said that he is the most conditional character of all right now. Number 5. Videl. It hurts me to put this character here because I enjoy playing with her. It's hard to say it, but Videl seems to me that she's lacking a lot of characteristics to be a top tier. To start, her game from a distance has many shortcomings. It doesn't have supers that can be said they cover a large area. The damage may be only my impression, but I see it low compared to other characters. The aerial mobility sometimes seems like it could be better. I don't know, it's a rare feeling, but if there was someone that I would have liked to be pretty strong on this game, it would have been this one. Number 4. Super Saiyan Goku. This is a character that at the beginning was very underrated, however his optimization options are extremely useful. He continues to have a brutal range in his punches and kicks, but other than that, it is still not considered a 100% competitive option. If I had to highlight some bad characteristics of this specific Goku, it would be his lack of inputs outside the basics. Being a pioneer character of the game and after seeing all the new characteristics that the characters of the new seasons brought, he starts to fail in some areas. It's just what I told you at the beginning, there is no unplayable character, they are just those below others who have different advantages. Number 3. Ginyu. His 2M punch takes 14 frames to go out, considerably slower than most characters. It is a little misleading how this character works because having unique inputs with the variations of attacks of his companions from the Ginyu forces, he could give a lot of different combo and mixing possibilities. That has changed a little with the last patch, and now his mobility has been limited a lot, now that there are so many moves in so many characters that they can repulse ki blasts and burst from all sides. Their attacks with the Ginyu forces became unhelpful. Your level 1 can be charged up to 3 times, but it is still a delayed resource, and he still doesn't have a level 3 with a decent amount of damage to Shane. Number 2. Super Saiyan Vegeta. The thing with this version of Vegeta is subtle. He was and still is a viable character, but taking into account the number of drastic changes that were implemented to the mechanics, inputs, and speed of the entire roster in general since the game was initially launched, Vegeta was one of the only ones that did not get a significant buff. All the others had a buff of exit frames, damage, recovery, among other things, and the poor Vegeta did not even got faster moves, which is practically what they did with all the characters. It continues to have good mixes, good routes to link air combos. Unfortunately, it was not enough. Number 1. Yamcha. Yamcha is practically got the worst part. It is the same as the launch version, but not really. His hitback and recovery speed reduced in his attacks. Basically, it was a little worse, and Yamcha already had his own problems. It misses damage, it misses range, and its first attack in fact. It has very useful supers if you know how to use them in the right way, but it ends up being very conditional. For that reason, and because he had practically the same luck as Vegeta in not having a notable buff, I consider him to be the weakest character currently. Guys, do not forget to leave me in the comments your personal lists of worst characters in Dragon Ball FighterZ. I'm very interested in reading your opinions, and there I will be watching to put little hearts on them. Soon we will continue making more tops like this of the games that we like so much, like Naruto Storm 4 and others. Soon more anime game reviews will arrive. Remember that if you are interested in becoming a member of the channel, you will be able to access advantages such as exclusive emojis, priority when answering your comments, voting for themes of one video per month, and much more. So press the little blue button below if you would like to support me in that extra way. That was all for today, guys, and I'll be watching you in the next video. Take care and see ya.